Hello Voyagers, and welcome back to Our Rolling Voyage. So right now we're in the month of April, and the month of April is not only when the RVing season starts to open, but it is also RV Safety Month. And I want to talk briefly about 3 items that I think are essential for RV safety. Now there are more things that have to do with safety, but these have to do with, life-ending safety. Before I get started though, I'd appreciate it if you all would hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell so you can get notified when our videos drop, and also feel free to leave us a comment because we love them. And when you do all of those things, then YouTube's algorithm recognizes that, and they will move our videos nearer to the top when someone searches on subjects related to it. So I appreciate that, but let's go ahead and get started. So I'm not going to be talking about things like a water pressure regulator. It protects your RV, but it has no bearing on your safety, because if your water lines break in your RV might flood, but you're not going to drown. You see what I'm saying? The things that I want to talk about is like tire safety, because if your tire safety is not properly monitored, then you could end up with high temperatures or high pressures, and you could have a blowout. All right. Also, propane. If you get a leak going, your tank slows down the flow, but it doesn't stop it. All right. And electrical. You could have a condition that might hot skin your RV and give you a pretty good jolt, or when you're inside, if you have bad electrical, then you could end up getting a good jolt inside of your RV when you touch something. These are the kind of things that I'm talking about that I want to address today. All right, so let's go ahead and start off with the tireminder by TST that I use. Sometimes when you're driving down the road, you'll have like a sudden impact to your tires and you get a sudden blowout. Your TPMS will alert you that you got air missing from your tires. It'll do that. But that's not really what it's for, because you'll know it at the same time your TPMS knows it. Okay? But the TPMS is meant to monitor your tire pressure and your tire temperatures. So typically when there's a blowout, it's typically preceded by high temperature or preceded by high pressure. And that's what you want your TPMS for. So like I said, it'll monitor low pressure to let you know when your pressure is low, but it also mainly lets you know when these things are high. Now, the TPMS that I use is from Truck Systems Technology, and it's a TST TPMS. Now, this was the first one I bought. This is the 507, and the 507 is great. It's a good system. Because it's not the monitor that makes the system, it's the sensors on the tires. And there are 2 types of sensors. I have the CATs, but then there are pass-through sensors. I've never used those. Those are typically used when you have steel valve stems. So I started out with this one, you know, and it gives you your pressures and all, but this monitor started acting strange. So I went to this one, and this is a touchscreen monitor from TST, and it's a really, really good monitor, and I'm going to show it to you. I had to move inside out of the sun because it was baking me. But what I want to show you on here is, like I said, this is a touch screen. You can touch the tire that you want to read, and it will read the tires. Okay. Also, this has a speedometer on it. It has a GPS. A GPS on it, and so it's not a GPS that gives you directions or anything like that. It's just to show you what direction you're traveling. It has an odometer to show you the speed. I mean, your how long you've been traveling. You can set it for your trips, that sort of thing. As you can see, it has a calendar, and you can reset everything right there as well. Clock. It shows you altitude. All right. Then you can go in your settings here, and in your settings, if you can see that, then it'll show. It gives you the parameter settings, alert settings, location of the tires. So this means you can actually go in here and you can actually move the tires around. See, you touch it, it flashes, and then you touch where you want that tire to go to. But so I'm not swapping tires. Then you can go back out here, and here's where you connect. Okay, you can enter codes from your sensors manually on here. Okay, hit exit and come out. So it's not a, you know, it's not a difficult monitor to master. This one is the 770. Like I said, I started with the 507, and it started giving me problems. So I went to this 507. Now you can see, if you can notice, it's noticeably bigger. And it's a, like I said, touch screen, and it's an all around, I think is a better monitor. And you can buy the 770 kit and add this monitor to it. Or you can buy, you can buy the 507 kit and add this monitor to it, or you can buy 770 and buy the sensors separately. But it will not pair with sensors from the 510 kit. It only pairs with sensors from the 507 kit. And it's after 2019, I think. So that's that. Now, let's go and move on to propane. What this is, it's called a gas stop. It says it right there. All right. So propane tanks nowadays have a valve inside of them. It's called an excess flow valve. And what that does, if there's a line cut in your propane system, then propane will constantly flow as long as the valve is open on the tank. What the excess flow valve does, it slows down the flow of the propane from the tank, which is what it's supposed to do. That's why it's called an excess flow valve. It just slows down the excess propane. I'm going to introduce you today to the gas stop. And the gas stop is much more amazing because the gas stop actually stops the flow of propane front when you have a line cut or something like that. All right, and you see it has a gauge on it. All right, it's red, green, and yellow. When it's in red, that means it's time to refill your propane tank. When it's in green, that means you're good to go. If it's in yellow, that means the pressure is too high in your tank, and you need to take whatever steps is necessary. So once you connect it to your tank and to your propane line, then you give this is a gauge, but it's also a button. So, and you give it a couple of pushes, to let the pressure build and start reading. All right. So this I have on both tanks. I have one over here and one on the left side of the RV. And I also have one on my 20-pound propane tank for when I'm cooking and that sort of thing. It lets me know, and it stops the flow of propane if it has to. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and connect this back up and let you all see how it works. So first, I hook it to the line, to the gas line. It doesn't matter what order you do it. Probably better to hook it up first to the tank, but you connect it to the tank, connect the line, make sure both of them are snug and tight. And if you can see my valve here, it's reading empty because there's no pressure going to it. But then I'm going to turn on this, and I just took this off of here, so there's pressure in the line from the other side or from earlier. So I want to push the button and let you see what happens upon pushing the button. So you turn it on and it's up to green, but you give this button push a couple of times and the needle goes to where it needs to go. Now, I've heard about RV fires where propane was, needed, or where propane may have been the cause, but the tank exploded from the heat and that sort of thing. Understand something. This is not a fire preventer. This is meant to slow propane from just flowing out into the air and possibly catching a spark from someplace and igniting. If you have a fire in your RV, don't run out here to your gas stop and think if you turn off your gas stop, it's going to stop the fire. If you have a fire in your RV and you can't get it out, get away from the RV. The gas stop is not going to put out your fire, okay? Just get away from the RV, all right? This is simply meant to stop the flow of propane, okay? So let's move on to electrical. Okay, next we're going to talk about this guy right here. So this is called the surgeguard, all right, and it's a surge protector typically what people know it as, but it's an electrical management system, in EMS. All right. And what this does is it looks for problems here. All right. So, and if it detects a problem here, then it won't let electricity come out to go here. So it will protect you against against electrical surges, you know, bad electrical with at the RV pedestal. It won't let your RV get damaged, and nor will it let you get hurt because of it. Okay. When you get your RV, when you start out, at the very minimum, you want a surge protector. I would strongly suggest that you get a electrical management system. surgeguard I found to be the best for me. That's what I like the most. They have it for 50 amp, which is what we are, and they have a 30 amp version. And you can't lose. If there's a problem, like I said, here, it doesn't let it go here. You have circuit boards and whatnot inside your RV that are probably pretty costly. All right. And if you get bad electric to go to those surge boards and stuff start frying, then you're going to have to pay to get that fixed. Okay. So you want to go ahead and protect yourself with a good surge protector, or EMS, electrical management system. Look at surgeguard. So once again, those 3 items I just spoke of are about RV safety. Your safety, your family's safety, and the safety of everyone around you. You can locate those items at technorv.com. There's a link below that you can click on. Right now, they're offering 10 to 15% discount on all purchases. It's a great place to shop. Their customer service is completely outstanding. If you have a problem, you can call technorv and they will give you an answer to your problem. Okay. Also, the owner, Eric, he does videos on everything he sells. Installation, operation, videos on everything. All right. If we don't see you all on the road, then hopefully you will be watching us in our next video. But until then, bon voyage, everyone.